Making concessions that add complexity can hobble your solution and kill your project stone dead. Just a quick reminder of the 6 pillars of the challenge framework. They are clarity, score the biggest goal, little and often, brand and position, talk, 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 and complexity kills. The 2 key phrases associated with the complexity kills pillar are making concessions that add complexity will hobble the solution, and build simply and for the mainstream. The title of this pillar is complexity kills, which is quite a dramatic phrase, and it's deliberately and intentionally dramatic because by its nature, complexity is actually quite subtle, and it's quite insidious, and it just kind of creeps up on a project. So by addressing it and calling it something quite dramatic, complexity kills, the idea is to draw focus and attention to it and to actively think about, consider and reject it at every opportunity during the life of the project. The title of each pillar is a single word or a short phrase that's designed to be easily remembered. However, a good way to unlock the power of the pillar is to ask a series of related questions. The first question to ask is, what percentage of customers will receive 100% of the benefits and 80% of the benefits? By understanding what proportion of the customers, as the project is currently scoped, will receive 100% of the benefits as opposed to 80%, we're looking to understand and get a handle on the risk of adding in additional complexity for those customers who are receiving 80% of the benefits and elevating them up to a point where they could receive 100% or all of the benefits. By understanding the relative proportions between customers receiving 100% or 80% of the benefits, we're looking to put a number on and size and estimate the risk associated with augmenting the outputs and the results of the project to accommodate the needs of those 80% and elevating them up to a point where they receive 100% of the benefits, and make a decision about whether that's the right course of action, the right approach, adding that additional complexity to make the solution sophisticated enough to accommodate and meet those requirements, or whether we step back and say, no, we're going to draw a line under it. Those customers that will only receive 80% of the benefits and no more, and therefore we remove that additional burden of having to accommodate and nuance and adjust the outputs of the project to meet that additional requirement. By saying making concessions that add complexity will hobble the solution, what we're looking to do is understand and assess whether we should accommodate additional changes and improvements and additions of complexities to the project to accommodate and meet additional needs, or whether we should reject them and keep the project as it's currently scoped with the current level of complexity built in. It's likely that during the course of the project there will be additional requirements for changes and improvements to accommodate additional needs, requirements from customers, or to serve a subset of customers. The risk associated with changing the project and accommodating these subsets of customers is that we risk adding in additional complexity which has a marginal return on investment. The second question is, if we trimmed the project's outputs so they solved 80% of the customer's main problem, what percentage of customers would receive all of the benefits? This is an analysis and refocusing question. It's saying to the project team, assume now that we trimmed 20% of the scope of the project so that we solved 80% of the customer's main problem. Now what percentage of customers would receive all of the benefits? What we're looking to do is identify ways of removing complexity that's already within the project, as well as identifying opportunities to reject newly acquired or newly incoming requests to add scope and therefore additional complexity to the project. As we were discussing in the Score the Biggest Goal pillar, we're looking to apply the 80-20 principle to complexity and to the solution that we're going to deliver. When we say build simply and for the mainstream, what we're looking to do is build a single solution which is fit for purpose for the vast majority of the customer base. If you imagine a bell curve, the middle main section of that customer base. And then when we consider whether we should deliver the additional 20% to either reject that idea or to very actively and consciously and deliberately understand that by delivering solutions which are now going to accommodate a broader range of the customer base, we risk adding in complexity which is of a lower return on investment value than a single solution which is fit for the majority. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it thought-provoking. Please be sure to check out other videos in the series. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and please leave comments in the comments section.